Hey everybody, I'm really excited about today's video because I get to put together a brand new raised bed. Now, before I get started on this was a product that they sent me to review and try, and I did not have to pay for this myself. And they've given me an affiliate link to use as well. So if you want to buy one, I'll have that in the description. But what I'm really excited about is that this is a metal raised bed. Now, metal raised beds can last a very long time. These are food safe, so you don't have to worry about toxic chemicals that might come from pressure treated lumber into your soil. So there's a lot of really great advantages to this. Today, we're going to put one of these together and see what you think. So a few notes on this one here. I got the 17-inch tall one because I think that is a really great height for a raised bed garden. You're too tall and you have to put in a whole lot of materials for it, soil, amendments, all the stuff there that you're filling the raised bed with. And so if you went 24 inches or even higher than that, it would take a lot of stuff to fill it. It's using recyclable materials. They say 45 minutes to assemble. I'm hoping it doesn't take that long. Lasts for 20 years, and there's 10 different configurations, so you can kind of change it around to fit the size and the shape of the garden that you need. All right, so I chose this color here. This is kind of a hunter green sort of color, and it looks great. Each one of these little panels comes with a bit of an extra coating on it that you have to remove to get to the actual coating. Longer portions are like that. So they've got some shorter ones, they've got some longer ones, they've got some curved ones. So that'll be the corners and everything. So if you've ever had a raised bed where you're kind of walking along and you got a sharp corner, this allows you to cut that corner a little bit there. So the configuration I'm going to go with here is about a 4 foot long by 8 foot long by 4 foot wide raised bed. And they've got a whole bag of things to attach it all together. Now we'll save this extra cardboard for use in the raised bed. That can be put down at the very bottom to kind of keep the weeds from coming up into the bottom of the raised bed. I do that with a lot of stuff. Putting good layers of cardboard on the bottom of raised beds is a great idea. And inside the bag, they also have this little piece. It's kind of a rubber gasket that goes on the very top of the edge of these pieces here to keep it from being real sharp and jagged. So if you're in the garden, you're not going to cut yourself open on your raised bed. All right, so removing the plastic, you just kind of find a spot that's got a little bit peeling away, and then you pull it off. It's not that hard. It's just a lot of pieces to take the plastic off. So it takes a little bit of time to get all that plastic off, but it's there for a reason. It's there to protect the coating so that it doesn't get scratched or dinged or dented or something like in packaging. So no big deal. It just takes a little time to do. But I can imagine if you were doing a whole lot of these at a time, it would take you a while. So what's really nice is this corrugation here gives it a little extra strength on the corners, and that's exactly how we're going to start. We're going to arrange this, and we're going to do the bottom side over here, which is going to take one of the smaller pieces of side metal here, and we're going to stick it here to connect these two on one end. By getting the parts that have the corners on first, it's going to make it easier for everything to stand up and us to be able to screw in the bolts properly. So, and here's the configuration that I'm shooting for, the 8 foot by 4 foot. And you can see there's a small piece indicated, and then 2 corner pieces, and then a long piece, and then 2 small pieces in the middle, 2 more long pieces, and then corner pieces, and then 1 more small piece at that top section. Now these are the connectors that are going to go and hold everything together. This will be on the outside of the raised bed. The washer and then the nut will go on the inside of the raised bed. It also comes with this little tool right here, so you could ratchet it down, just a little wrench, and obviously going to be perfectly sized. And this actually looks like it could be useful outside of putting together raised beds too. So as you can see, that was pretty easy to do, but there are a lot of these holes to put together. So this is why it's going to take a little while. It's a very simple process, but it just takes a little bit of time. So you can see kind of how it's all going together right now. I do want to note that they say in the instructions to put the 2 flat sides all together first before you put the ends together, but this is working pretty good. Starting with the corners, keeping everything upright, I'm just going to kind of loosely attach all the nuts first, and then I'll come back, tighten them all down. Okay, well, my daughter assistant over here, Olivia, is working on finishing up these bolts, getting those all tightened. In the center section, it's quite a distance here. We've got 4 feet apart between the sides of the bed, and that could cause bowing. So what they've done is they've inserted these little metal rods. There's one that's for like a 2.5 foot, and then there's another one that you added as an extension, and you put the two together in order to make sure that the middle does not fall open and go with all kinds of different directions. So basically, you just have this little screw rod that goes into the end of one of them. Let's see what we're doing right there. And then you take the other end and attach them using a screw rod connector. And then we are going to put these in the center of the bed where the bolt holes are. I'll move the camera over a little bit, just like this. And it will connect from here to the other side on the exact same hole and keep these two beds held together. So right here you can see these two tie rods that are coming across. You got a washer there on one side and a nut. You just use a screwdriver to tighten it all down, and they will connect the two sides and keep them from bowing out when you have all your soil in your raised bed. The last step is to take this rubber gasket and put it around the top of everything. It's going to help protect your hands and things so that you're not actually getting scratched when you're in the garden working. So to put this on, you just take it and slide it over a spot, and then just kind of work your way down the entire raised bed, just like that. So when you're down here in one of these corners, you want to just kind of go over top of this little lip right here in the panel, work that for a second, and then you'll be fine coming around the rest of it. It's very easy to get it on the straight parts that don't have the joints, but the joints tend to be a little bit more tricky. But if you just take a little time with each one of them, it'll go in pretty smoothly. So when you get to the end of the gasket, there's going to be a little bit of excess left over. You just come to that spot, go a little bit past the joint, and cut it off, and slide it into place. And it's all done. Okay, and here you see the completed raised bed, the 4 foot by 8 foot Vego Garden raised bed. It all went together pretty easily. It just takes a little bit of time. It was probably 45 minutes to an hour for sure. I know on the package it says 45 minutes, and I did have one person helping me. So plan probably 45 minutes to an hour minimum per bed that you're putting together. Of course, a smaller raised bed would probably be a little bit faster. But everything went together really well. It's really sturdy. It's pretty lightweight, so one person might be able to get this out to the garden, but I do recommend 2 just because of the size of the raised bed. Okay, so we got the Vego raised bed moved out to where the garden is eventually going to be. You can see here I've got a stake over here and then a stake over there, and this is how it fits in. Eventually, what I'm thinking of doing is to get more of either these type of beds or build some raised beds out of block and wood and other things, and have at least 2 more here and then 2 more back beyond that. So a total of 6 raised beds that are about 4 foot by 8 foot, and maybe a 3 foot bed going all the way from corner to corner. But one thing I've got to do beforehand is to level out this area a little bit because it's down quite a bit. And over here to this raised bed, I do need to get the ground under it scraped out so it can be nice and level, because right now where it's sitting is a little bit sloped, as you can tell. So overall, the Vego raised bed went together very easily. You just follow the instructions and it'll go fine. It did take a little bit of time, and I can see where if you're doing a whole lot of these at a time, it may be something you have to plan out. And in fact, space out your work days so you have plenty of time to do it. Because if you're doing 4, 6, 8 of these raised beds, it's going to take you that many hours to get them done. So I'm Dave with Growing the Home Garden. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we'll catch you next time.